Percent of the targets to Shakir completed. This is behind Cooper, who brought it in, pitched it back to Allen, who's going to go to the goal line and get in! No! Spectacular touchdown!
Oh my goodness!
And welcome back to Cover 2 with
BeeWoo
Earl Knows It All, man. And we got a jam-packed show for you today, man. First and foremost, before you do anything, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. BeeWoo, what's up, man?
Man, it's good, man.
Yes, sir.
A little cold in the city.
Ooh, yeah. As you can see, man.
For more reasons than one.
Ooh, yeah,
it's
man.
A little cold in the city, but it's definitely a little nip in the air.
Yes, sir. Yes,
but man, you know, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope y'all enjoyed y'all Thanksgiving festivities over the weekend.
Yep.
And got to watch a little football with the family.
Yeah. Of course, man. That's a beautiful thing. I saw this funny tweet, man. I was gonna start the show off with it, but this dude said his grandmama is in her shack with the Celtics stage of cooking Thanksgiving dinner, man. You know, Shaq with the Celtics, he averaged like 3 points a game.
Oh, man.
A legend.
Wow.
She just kind of, you know, it might be time for grandmama to hang up.
Time for her to hang up.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I get it.
I got a good kick out of it. I said, man, hopefully her grandmama ain't on Twitter.
Right, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, sometimes it's time to pass the torch.
Yeah, man. I'm been saying for the past 20 years.
20 years she's going to quit, and she ain't quit yet. But unlike his grandma, I think for the most part, Mom still did her thing.
MJ.
Yeah, I think she
prime MJ.
The prime. Whereas the young folks like to say LeBron, because
this is a Michael Jordan podcast.
This is definitely a Michael Jordan podcast, but you know, they always like to say, well, who had to run? Who doing it still like at this level?
You don't have a LeBron type run, I guess we're gonna put it that way.
Yeah, so but yeah, man. Nevertheless, Thanksgiving was good.
Yes, sir. We had a very good Thanksgiving.
Good
man.
to see all the family.
You
know, and all the festivities went along with that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, one guy who did not have a good Thanksgiving, man, it ended pretty bad for him. Oh, Matt Eberflus,
man,
from the Chicago Bears, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, he was on borrowed time anyway, probably, man. You know, they got stopped, of course, if you haven't seen the play. With about 30 seconds left, Caleb Williams got sacked. They had a timeout, and they didn't call a timeout for some reason and wound up running one more play.
And they had a timeout.
Yeah, just ended with
inside the 20.
Yeah,
right there in scoring position. And, you know, and I'm sitting there watching the game, you know, in disbelief about what I'm seeing, it was in what happened.
A debacle.
Yeah. Just like the headline said, you know.
Now I don't got no video of that, man. I was searching for it, but we're gonna let Eberflus, since he's been fired already, we're gonna let him live today. But
yeah, but you know, it was, you know, I'm trying to figure out, like, you got a timeout in your pocket, you know, use it.
Yeah,
use it. I mean, it's a chance for you to win the game, and you just sitting there like
you can't take them with you.
Yeah.
You know, he's sitting at home right now. He still got the time out. It ain't doing him no good.
Doing him no good. And we seen that in the Georgia game. You know, Kirby called every single
time he called.
Every single overtime he called a timeout.
Yeah, man.
Except the very last one, you might as well use the man, in the strategy worked out. But yeah, man, you might as well go ahead and use that timeout.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know. Maybe he knew he was going to get fired regardless after the game.
Man, he seemed like he'd been on borrowed time. Man.
You know, maybe that's what he felt like. Hey, man, it don't matter. Like, I'm going to let these 30 seconds run out because they already told me, you know, it's over with. It's over with. So.
But they had, man, this is just the Bears in a nutshell. They still let the man do the press conference, right?
Right.
His regular press conference on the next day. And Then they fire him like 2 hours after that. So people was up in arms about that saying,
well,
I mean, let him do the press conference.
Well, I mean, that has happened to a Falcons coach here before.
Yeah.
And, you know, Jim Moore, I think that happened with him with the Falcons. You know, they knew they were going to fire him. And I think he might have lasted more than 2 hours. But the next day or so, he was gone. He was gone too. So,
I mean, it happens, man. It happens. But, man, a bad way to end Thanksgiving for Eberflus. Now,
Indeed.
we talked about the Bulldogs. Thomas Brown, who actually just got named the offensive coordinator a couple weeks ago. Now he's the interim head coach. So maybe he gets an opportunity here to kind of show what he can do, man. Former Georgia running back. So we'll keep an eye on that. But the Bears front office says this is the best job in the NFL. You know.
Well, I mean,
they got a young quarterback.
They got a young quarterback.
First overall pick. So I'm assuming that's why they're saying that.
You know, I guess, you know, I mean,
got a couple weapons.
Caleb Williams got a couple weapons. As I was going to say, he got some weapons.
Yeah.
The running game is not, you know, the greatest, but it could be. I mean, Swift is a good back. Yeah. And the defense is kind of mediocre. Yeah. So I don't know if it's the best job.
I wouldn't say best job.
Yeah, because you know you are.
But I think it could have the potential to be a good job. And you look at they lost on the last play with a guy celebrating before the game was over with against the Red. Like it just seemed like they didn't have no respect for this man, maybe. And they were close. They were in all these games. They lost on a blocked field goal in the game, so they easily could be, at least 6-6 or maybe even 7-5. So I mean, they could be right in the thick of things. So I mean, it's like a job that can be turned around quickly, maybe. Now the Lions, of course, win that game. They moved to 11-1, still have the best record in football, and it sets up a showdown with the Packers, who also won their game in convincing fashion on Thanksgiving as well, 31-17 over the Dolphins. The Lions, I think, still are showing a few chinks to me, man. I know everybody says they're the team. I don't trust Jared Goff, man.
Well, I mean,
they got up in that game, but they were kicking field goals. Shout out to y'all because I got their field goal kick on my fantasy team, but they weren't putting sevens on the board. I thought maybe because it's a Thanksgiving game, so anything can happen in those games.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it is. But it just seems like some may be. I don't know, man. It's some a little shaky to me with the Lions, man. I'm not convinced.
I think that might be the Eagle Talk fan in you.
Hey, man, we're gonna get to the Eagles.
But I mean, I like what I'm seeing from the Lions.
I do think they're the best team.
They are the team, from last season and even carrying over to this season.
That's true.
They've been the most consistent.
Yeah, that's true.
Out of any team in the NFL. So I don't know where you see.
Not named Kansas City, but yeah.
Well, Kansas City still, to me, you say not named Kansas City, but Kansas City look a little shaky. They're moseying it along. Yeah. Like they always do, the past 2 years, because when they went on the first couple runs,
they were dominant.
They were dominant, but they seem to just be moseying it along and still getting it done. Yeah. But I mean, when you look at Detroit, I don't know what the playoffs may hold for them and what they might do in the playoffs. Yeah. But to me, they seem like one of the more solid, well-rounded teams. I won't
argue. I think this Packers game. Now the Packers fooled me last time. I think I picked the Packers against them in Lambeau the last time they played. But this will be a big game. And then week 15, they got the Bills coming up too. So they got some tough opponents. That'll really, I guess far be it for me to say I don't trust them. They're 11-1. Yeah, they only lost to Tampa Bay. So I mean, prove it to me, Lions, though, man. That's what I'm saying, man.
I guess you feel about the Lions the way I feel about the Bills, and I was watching that Bills game last night, and I was like, man, the Bills is pretty solid, man.
But
they never
miss an opportunity to kick in Shanahan back, but the snow was kind of crazy.
But I mean,
but they did look good.
They're NFL guys, and I don't get this. With these guys have never played in the snow, and it's a West Coast team. Like all these players on that team ain't from the West Coast. Yeah. So I'm sure And somewhere in your football career, you played in the snow or the elements.
You got a good mix of guys from different places. Man.
So I never like to really buy into that because even though you might say, well, they don't practice in it, they hadn't seen it in a while, but
I mean, and both teams playing in the conditions, so it's just we're gonna play better in it essentially. But because I mean, once you got that much snow, it's like what you gonna do?
Right.
Everybody playing with
playing with the same, handicaps.
Yes, sir. Now the other big story coming out of the Sunday games is we get to Sunday. Got to start with this one, man. The brawl in Duval. Trevor Lawrence got knocked out of the game with a late hit, man. We're gonna show you this hit, and me and you were talking about this beforehand. I get the fact that people are a little bit up in arms about the guy getting injured, but I don't know that this was a dirty play, man.
Nah,
to me,
I'm with you on that. I mean,
it's a bang bang play.
It's a bang bang play, like.
And
the hit by number 17 was more dirty. That guy he didn't know the quarterback was gonna let up.
Nah,
even though these quarterbacks now are so agile, and he could have thought the quarterback was gonna fake him or whatever. Like
I think Patrick Mahomes did. He faked like he was going out of bounds and got a couple more
yards. Yeah, it's like you never know. Like I mean, I don't think that's dirty at all, unless if it wasn't bang bang.
Yeah.
Then if he has already given.
Yeah, once you commit, and then I think Trevor Lawrence kind of saw him committing and said on the slide. At that point, what am I gonna do, man? I kind of, he's coming in to hit him. And you see him gearing up to hit him right before Trevor Lawrence, slid down. So to me, it was bang bang, man. Aziz Al-Shir is the guy who is guilty of the crime, I guess you could say, man. But I don't know, man. I think to me, I know the masses are saying, "Oh, that was a dirty play. He need to be suspended." But what is he supposed to do?
At that point, what are you supposed to do? I mean, like you said, Mahomes has scampered for a few more yards.
Yep.
You never know what if the quarterback had already was in his slide, and you wasn't right there, and you come, maybe 3 seconds later, then you may have something.
Yeah. You got a situation where it's like, okay, what am I going to do now?
Right.
But I think it's just an unfortunate situation. Trevor Lawrence did say that he was back home resting and that he was, feeling better or whatever. So I guess get well to Trevor Lawrence, man. Unfortunate, like we said, you never want to see anybody get hurt. And anytime a guy's, laying there unconscious,
right.
Of course, everybody's senses are heightened at that point. But
and I say this too, man, guys. I don't know. I know you guys are worried saying that you don't like these helmets that they got, but wear the damn helmets, man.
Yeah, it ain't about being cool.
It ain't about being cool, man. Just wear the damn helmets, and that's what I say.
Yeah,
wear the damn helmet.
I saw offensive lineman when
I seen
like he had a big judge.
Right, and I seen that. I'm like, now if offensive lineman wear the damn helmet, man, come on, man. And I guess these guys are not wearing the helmet because they think they don't look cool. But hey, man,
that's how it was. I mean, way back in the day, football players, when they had the option, they wore just a leather mask or you had to put a face. They felt like they was tough because they was doing that. So I don't know. Maybe these guys
put that helmet on, man. Hey. 10, 15 years later, you're gonna probably wish you had it on. A lot of guys who not even concussed like Lawrence was probably have had some concussions and walking around and don't even know it. So
that's true.
I say put the helmet on. Yeah. The league has mandated that you are able to wear one. So wear it.
Use it in your advantage, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And moving right along, man, we talked about this. BeeWoo kind of hinted at it. I was torn before this game, man. My Eagles and my Ravens playing, but I'm here to make a declaration today, man. I'm an Eagles fan. What can I say, man? The Eagles have proven to be the team that I thought they should have been last year. Now, hopefully they don't let me down, but you got Saquon Barkley looking good. You got Jalen Hurts. I think they're all on the same page. If you didn't watch our Black Friday special, go back and watch that, man. We handed out some gifts for our favorite teams as well. And
good show if you missed it.
Yes, sir. The thing I talked about was chemistry for this team. They seem like they got the right chemistry. These guys are playing well together. And on the other hand, the other team I root for, the Ravens, they don't look like they can make it happen in the big games, man.
Man, I don't know what's going on. The Ravens seem to have on paper everything you need, but when they get into these kind of games, they're not the same team that you.
Now, one thing has been happening.
Yeah.
Justin Tucker, please report to the front office, man. I know Justin Tucker's supposed to be like the most accurate kicker in NFL history and all this stuff. This boy missed field goals worse than Kudu, man.
Oh,
like
man.
they going out of style, man.
Yeah.
He missed the extra point. He missed like 3 field goals again.
It's not been a good year for kickers.
It has not been, man. And I'm tired of putting these what's wrong with the kickers on the NFL videos up.
Yeah, man.
But we got to do it because it's like, what is going on, man?
Like, yeah.
Like,
and I don't know how many
believe
of you ever been to an NFL practice, like, and we said this a few shows back, the kickers are doing nothing at practice.
That's it. They down there talking to him and the partner down there. Oh,
they down there.
Every now and then they kick the ball.
Every now and then they kick the ball. Like, guys, if you missing these kicks like this, man, y'all need to be kicking non-stop.
Yeah, I agree.
At practice. I don't care how long practice is. You're tired of kicking, but obviously you have not perfected.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this, man. I'm going to stop even pointing at the kickers now because it gets to a certain point where, and we're going to definitely talk about this later on, it's like malpractice for the whole team. If you know this guy cannot hit kicks and you keep sending them out there, coach, GM, what are y'all doing at this point, man? How do you keep letting this guy lose you games?
Yeah, man.
Like at some point you got to say, okay,
yeah.
Man, I was watching a high school football game.
Right.
Langston Hughes, your son went to Langston Hughes, man. Shout out to everybody in Langston Hughes for moving on. They played Thomas County Central. This quarterback this kicker for Thomas County Central hit a 47-yard field goal like it wasn't nothing. He just walked up there, knocked it in. High school kid.
Wow.
And they kept, every time they ran out, I was like, we're going to send a kick out there again. Like, I don't even trust NFL kickers like this, man. So you can, if you look hard enough, you can find a kicker somewhere.
Man.
Somewhere that's a
somewhere.
And you mean to tell me you letting the kicker?
I'm sure there's a lot of kickers that left colleges, sitting at home in other professions. They sell insurance, cars. They doing something, man. Like, give them guys some phone calls, man, and let them go out there and because they probably a lot more hungrier than these guys y'all paying these hundreds of thousands of dollars to. I don't know if
Tucker may make millions.
Maybe
been around
Tucker might be making millions, but I'm sure those guys wouldn't mind if you told them, hey man, I need you out here kicking the whole practice on field goal. I'm sure them guys would love to be on the team, and they probably would do that for you. I'm sure they would.
Yeah, man. Now another team. I don't know if you be seeing in the comments, BeeWoo. We've been hitting that talking about this guy. And I was going to do everything in my power not to talk about him, just to spite some of the folks out here. But Russ look good, man. Russ is out there cooking.
Russ is cooking, man.
The Steelers and Russ, they looking pretty good, man.
Yeah,
they had a little hiccup against the Browns, but 9-3. They're up on the Ravens right now in that division, man. They handled the Bengals in that game. And Russ threw for 400 yards, 414 yards in that game. Man, as I was riding yesterday, I was dropping Ari off at practice. I just turn on, hear what the Falcons fans are saying. Somebody said, Arthur Smith is going to be a head coaching candidate for what he's done with this Steelers offense. I said, oh, my Lord, what? I don't know how we got there, but, they say Russell Wilson is playing so good, BeeWoo, that Arthur Smith is going to be back in a coaching job very soon.
I would not get that guy the keys to my rabbit.
I figured you like that one, man.
I wouldn't let that guy drive my rabbit, man.
Man.
If y'all know about a rabbit, it's
hard car, man.
I wouldn't let him get the keys to my rabbit.
Yeah, man. They say Russ is cooking though, man. Like since he's been out there, they've only lost one game. Now Justin Fields, of course, did a good job too, but they opening the offense off. Him and George Pickens seem to have a good connection. And man, a shout out to our guy Mike Tomlin. 18 straight years. He won't have a losing season again. 9 wins. He's already eclipsed the opportunity to have a losing season. Never had a losing season. So
man, Mike Tomlin is definitely doing his thing. We big up him a lot on the show.
Yes, sir.
But he is definitely, without saying enough, he is definitely doing his thing.
Yeah.
This guy is just keep making it happen year after year, whatever quarterback he got. He might not have all the rings to show for it, but he is one of probably the best coaches in the league right now.
Yeah.
Even with Belichick when he was in the league, he's up there with Belichick.
Yeah.
And
he has a ring, been to 2 Super Bowls, man.
Yeah.
And never had a losing season. Like even Belichick,
the
wheels fell off for him, man.
Yeah.
3-4 wins with Belichick.
Yeah.
So
but man, Russ is doing his thing. I seen a lot of questionable plays, and that's what going back to Arthur Smith.
Okay.
Like I don't know who's calling this Justin Fields stuff, but the stuff you're doing with him, Russ can do that little stuff.
He can. I think they're trying to throw Justin Fields a bone though, since he started the season. So keep him engaged, maybe.
Maybe, but
that's what I think. Maybe I don't know.
To me, that's foolishness because you're stalling the offense. Like
now, I will say this: if it wasn't Russ, or if it was a quarterback who maybe didn't look like Russ, I don't think they'd be yanking him off the field to put in another guy. No,
they wouldn't. Yeah, they wouldn't do that.
I know a quarterback.
I know.
It
should be some packages. It should be some packages here, but you got a great point now. But man, I mean, cut the shenanigans.
Yeah.
You guys are doing good.
Let Russ cook, man.
Let Russ keep cooking. Yeah. It was a point in the game that they were down significantly. I think they were down by 2 touchdowns.
Yes, they were down
at one point, and then when I come back and watch, they were up by 2. So. Yeah, man. They
put up 44 points, man. Like I said, Russ had 414 yards and 3 TDs. So big time game for Russ, man. Big time game. Now, speaking of quarterbacks, let's start with love, BeeWoo, first and foremost. It's Aaron Rodgers' birthday today, man. Happy birthday to you, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. That's gonna be the last thing you like about this show today, buddy. The folks are saying Aaron Rodgers is probably done, man, with the Jets now. They had to come out and have a press conference to say that he is still the starter. How the mighty have fallen, man.
And he has fallen fast enough for me.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Rodgers, man, used to be one of my favorite quarterbacks. Even though the rivalry was with the 49ers, I kind of gave Aaron Rodgers a pass because I liked him.
Yeah,
he's won me fantasy rings.
I won one with him too.
So and he was, but
I made 3 MVPs.
Somebody pop his balloon,
maybe 4 MVPs. Yeah.
Somebody pop his balloon.
Most definitely,
like, and when I seen the layout for the show, I was like, "You telling this sucker happy birthday?" Like what? But
you gotta start with love, man, and then you kick that back.
But I get it. But man, I think Aaron needs to go ahead on and exit stage.
Man. I think he's gonna be forced to exit stage.
Yeah.
Now, like I said,
and I don't see who else would want him. Like you talk about,
I can't think of a team either. Man.
Where would he go? Who would want him? Maybe the Cowboys.
Yeah, is he better than Dak right now? I mean, not to me anyway. I don't know. Is he better than maybe a team like the Raiders? Maybe that's what careers go to die with the Raiders. So maybe he just find a kick it.
Maybe go to New Orleans too. Maybe go to New Orleans.
Man, I wouldn't mind that.
Maybe go to New Orleans.
I wouldn't mind that, man.
I think New Orleans
watch quarterbacks to the division.
I think New Orleans gonna be looking for a quarterback, but like you said, the Raiders
people gonna be trying to draft these young quarterbacks. And he turned 41.
It's not really a heavy quarterback draft.
I mean, you got Shador and Cam Ward, people mention. So, and it's a lot of teams that are in that.
Watch for the tank for Shador in an upcoming weeks.
And I don't think Dion want him to go to New York with the Jets or the Giants. So, I don't know. I mean,
but like I said, watch for the tank for Shador in New Orleans.
Oh, you think New Orleans going?
New Orleans is done.
I mean, they won a couple of games in there.
But they lost Tatum yesterday too. So, I think that's their
secret weapon. Yeah,
I think that's their season.
I mean, mathematically though,
not mathematically.
Still could win the division, really.
They still could win the division. They win enough games, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah,
but Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, man. Yeah, so long, buddy. I think this might be your last ride.
Well, he gonna fall on a nice, good cushion. He seems to like to be on the Pat McAfee show all the time, so maybe it'd just be like a regular on that show, like he has been anyway. Like,
yeah,
I've seen podcasting, I guess. So.
I've seen enough of him.
Yeah,
at this point,
Hey, man, Jets, go on to put Tyrod Taylor out there, man. Maybe y'all trying to lose. That's why y'all keeping Aaron Rodgers in the game. But Tyrod will win y'all some games, man.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of quarterback play and young quarterbacks, the Commanders bounced back after having a 3-game losing streak. Jay was, of course, the young quarterback phenom for them. Kind of bounced back, had a good game, man. They played the Titans, so it is what it is. But they were up 28-0, I think, in the first couple, definitely first quarter. Yeah. So
when I was watching, it was 21-0. Yeah. That game was a nice bounce back game.
That is exactly what you do to a team that is beneath you, essentially, man. I mean, they played some tough games in a row. Division rival against the Cowboys. You slip up in that game, but that's how you have a bounce back game right there, man. You come out there and smack that team down, let them know they don't got no chance.
Yeah, you go ahead and put these teams away early. Somebody needs to take notes.
Yeah, definitely.
Somebody needs to take notes.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put these teams away. Don't play with them, else you'll find yourself where you're at right now.
Be in trouble if you do not.
And
the Vikings, our guy Kyler Murray and the Cardinals had a lead on this team, man. Looked like they were going to run away with that game, but the Vikings still won. I don't know how they did this, man, but they come back and win 23-22. Vikings keep winning games, man.
This is a dangerous team.
They have essentially the second, or I guess they're tied with the Eagles for second best record in the NFC.
This is a dangerous team, man, and they're one of the teams you definitely want to watch out and see how it shapes up for this playoff picture. You talk about the Detroit Lions, you got to talk about the Vikings.
Yeah,
2 tough teams in the NFC. You talk about the Eagles. Like, this is the team that probably could beat either one of those teams.
Hold on, that's slow.
If the Eagles don't come out and play Eagle football, the Vikings, like I've been saying for the last 2 years, they are a gritty, grimy team.
Yeah.
They, tough guys. They got a bunch of guys that are real tough on that team, and they can get the job done. They don't mind getting dirty.
They got some, and Sam Darnold continues to win. I mean, all you can. Right. Let's look at the Jets, man. The Jets, they just got beat by Geno Smith, who they let go. Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson, who was in Denver, I think. Now, all these guys have flourished where they are. They left with Aaron Rodgers, man. So, happy birthday, Aaron.
Man. And, like you said, all these guys were once Jets.
Yeah, I think it's an extension. You had, and I need to insert that video right here, man, where you talked about nobody ever wanted to go to the Jets.
I mean,
the Jets are horrible. Like,
when I seen one of my coworkers had a Jets hat on, and I'm like, how in the world? How in the world is this? Like, you a Jets fan?
I don't even know New Yorkers as Jets fans.
You are a Jet. Like, you for real? Oh, I get it. You like the colors. No, I am a Jets.
There you go, man.
I am a Jets fan. Like, okay.
Ooh, and he told you that.
And he said
he admitted it to
He's the only Jets fan I ever met, man.
Yeah, it ain't many of them, man.
Man. I mean, that's not a team with a great history at all.
Yeah.
But these Vikings, man, you look at them. That's the team that you want to watch out for.
Yeah.
And I think you might see them in the NFC Championship.
Ooh, okay.
And you could see them in and they're moseying alone, and
now right now they're gonna be in the wild card though, because they're behind the line, so they would have to maybe go on the road possibly in the playoffs. But
but I mean, like I said, those 3 teams are teams that I can see them.
I'm gonna go out straight, so you don't got no belief in the Packers, I guess, right? Or you got the Vikings ahead of the Packers. I mean, I know record-wise they are ahead of the Packers, but
I mean, I just when
I think I like Jordan Love a little bit more than Darnold. I trust Jordan Love a little bit more.
I mean, I can see that, but you know, the Vikings have been there and
man,
hanging around, you know, in the basement.
Yeah.
You know, Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers not as, you know, word I'm looking. They're not as put together as this Viking team has been over the like they're just now probably coming.
Okay.
So they Jordan Love and Green Bay, you know, they're just now coming. But the Vikings, even when you talk about Cousins and like that core, that team has been there, you know, with Jefferson and you know the likes of, you know, it's a gritty team.
Yeah,
man.
they are.
Just watch out for them.
Now
we'll keep an eye on
traveling to Minnesota. Your Atlanta Falcons, BeeWoo, and they got an old friend coming to town, man. But before we even talk about that game, the Falcons have a Kirk Cousins problem, man.
Very, very. Cuz. We in ATL.
I know.
Hey, Cuz.
I know all y'all was flying high when they was 6-3, man, and everybody was, you know, they were swag surfing. It was cute when he was doing all that, but he done snuck it up the last 3 games, man.
Yeah.
Let's get to a couple of these plays, man, that this guy had, man. Kirk Cousins he throws 4 interceptions in this game, a pick 6. This guy, number 29, seemed like he was his favorite receiver. Man, he kept looking for him.
Fields.
Yeah, man.
So
it was a winnable game, man.
Very winnable game. And when he stepped back before he even threw this ball, I knew.
No, don't do it.
I knew that was a pick before he even threw the ball. Like, I don't understand how he didn't see that or feel that. Because when he caught the ball off the height, from the time he said height, and he looked over there, I already knew that was a pick.
Yeah.
Like, I knew that off the rip, that's a pick.
Yeah.
How did he not, NFL quarterback, not know that? I'm sitting here looking at, man, if you throw that ball over there, it's a pick.
It's going to the house.
And it's going to the house. And what this fool do? He sits back there, he hikes the ball, he throws it over there, and just like, wow.
He did that several times, man. That's the thing. Like
wow.
He was throwing the ball straight to these guys. I don't know, like the one in the end. I got it. The one he threw in the end zone after that, it's like, what are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Now he throws this ball right here, man. I don't know if he's colorblind or what he's doing, man, but
you got Bijan running right there with you.
He just lost the ball up there like, hey, man, hot potato, get this out of my hand.
If you flick the ball right there to Bijan, he's gone and
could have did anything.
Hey, if look at this. Yep. Bam, flick the ball to Bijan. Everybody else already done bit.
Yeah.
And there's no way Moody was going to get that. He's covered with 3 guys, one of the shortest guys probably on the field. But if you flick that right there to Bijan, he's gone. Yeah. And probably even if you decide to keep it yourself
running,
you are going to score.
Bijan is in a good position to block for him. And you got guys in the end zone who block for, like, whatever you do, 3rd down, you got another down, man. You can't just throw the ball away for an interception.
You know,
that was the only thing you couldn't do.
You couldn't do that. That was very Riddle-less.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That was very Riddles like.
Yeah.
And it was so many options, you know, and I don't know if this had something to do with Kirk thinking, man, I got to make this play because Koo ain't going to be able to hit this field goal. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking.
That's what we talk about, though. Like, that's where you get in trouble because you got a kicker who starts the game off.
We talked about it last week.
Now you got to think in your head, I don't trust this guy. I got to try to make something happen. Yeah. Because if we send him out here, he going to miss.
He going to miss. And that's a prime example of, man, I gotta be the guy to make a play. Of course, Cousins would never say that.
Yeah.
But we've talked about this. If you've been following the show, you've heard us say this, that, you know, hey, man, now you're making guys press and feel like, hey, I got to be the guy to make a play.
Yeah.
But, man, unfortunately, that was the wrong play.
It was.
You should have at the wrong time.
Yeah.
You know.
And you wasted Your defense coming off the bye week, man. You get 5 sacks in the game.
Man.
Y'all had 11 sacks the whole season.
Yeah.
You waste all of that.
Yeah, I don't get that. And it's unfortunate that we're sitting here talking about 4 interception day by Kirk Cousins. So much on the line, so much hope, so much optimism coming off the bye week, so much to look forward to, and getting some more leverage on the division. Yeah. And now you sit here tied in the division, possibly swindling things away. We talk about Falcons going to see the Vikings. Yeah. It was in the back of my mind. If Kirk comes out there and throws a pick, do we see Penix then?
I don't think we're gonna see Penix unless they're getting blowed out.
And this is a coming home game, so I agree with you. Like, it's probably not gonna be this game.
No.
So we got to ride this one out again, because it probably definitely won't be this game, no matter what he does. Unless he comes out there and his first pass is a pick, then you probably still.
Man, you heard what Raheem said. This guy's carried us. He had a bad day. Like 3 bad days in a row.
At this point, he's carried you, but now you're talking about the season, because now this forecast here in this game.
See, this is the problem though, when you
change the momentum of the season.
Pay this man all this money, and then you draft a quarterback, you put yourself in this position, like, because everybody's saying, hey, it makes. Why we ain't letting Penix come out there? Y'all say y'all like this guy. This is a game we can win. This guy's stinking it up. He's losing us the game. Let's see if we can go with a hot hand and get the rookie out there and see what he can do.
Is Penix really that guy?
Y'all told me he was.
I mean, and they said Riddles was that guy.
No.
They said Riddles was that guy. We didn't need to see him in preseason. We've seen enough of him.
Well, this is what the problem lies there.
So,
if the Falcons have drafted a quarterback at number 8, and he's not capable of playing, fire everybody, man. I'm sorry. I don't know.
So, man, I'm telling you, in this game here is going to have a lot of. When you look at this game coming up,
back to bite him, man.
In Minnesota.
Oh,
this is going to be a game. If you don't win this game, there's going to be a lot of people jobs on the line.
Ooh, Raheem gonna get fired at
not out of his first year, but this is one of the games where you're gonna start talking about, and they're already, talking about Raheem is not the guy. His offensive coordinator sucks. He's too low.
2 weeks ago, Late was not the guy.
Yeah,
I guess he's people like him now since they had
a good defensive game. Yeah. But Fontenot, Kyle Pitts. And, this game right here,
Pitts, Bijan, Penix. You got to account for them picks, man. Like, I don't know. And Fontenot, they told us it was Arthur Smith, or it was a collaborative effort. At some point, somebody has to be held accountable for this, man.
Man, at some point, somebody's going to be held accountable, because we're looking at, you have the fan base right now. And you know what was getting close to last year. We're about to be there again, where the fans are going to be saying, "Hey, I'm not coming back out there for this." And that's
if you keep saying that, but y'all keep coming back.
They gave you a little splash, with Penix. They gave you a little splash with Penix for the fans of Atlanta.
Kirk chains.
The Kirk pick was always questionable to me. Too much money. You could have got Fields, and you could have let Penix if it did, and then you
could have just let Penix play if you drafted him. If that was what you was gonna do.
Yeah,
it just doesn't.
You paid Kirk.
Like they got no direction.
You paid Kirk too much, so you couldn't just let him play.
Don't draft the quarterback then.
That's the I think the scouting report was wrong on Kirk Cousins, And I think Kirk
he was coming off an Achilles injury. Like what scout report they got? He's 38 with a bad Achilles.
You guys said that was a good pick. You guys said that was a good pick.
No, not you guys.
I never would have paid Kirk that type of money. I would have went with Fields. I never would have paid Kirk that type of money. And then if you're gonna jump back in, if you didn't really believe in the quarterback play, that's why you should have went with Fields, because you could have said, hey, I'm going to take this guy for less money, and then I'm going to get me a quarterback. And then let that, because now you're looking at Kurt Warner as like he's the end and be all, just like Coach said, 18, we believe in him.
Well, we said it when me and you had this debate about that draft pick. I told you, this the next 2 years for you, maybe definitely a year and a half.
I don't think he's going to last 2 years.
They're not going to eat out of
him. If you some kind of way end up losing this division race, I don't think you could trot Kirk back out there next year.
Blank ain't gonna lose all that money like that, man.
You have no choice. You lose that money, you're gonna lose your fan base, because from the time you lose this division and you don't make the playoffs, that's it.
What have we seen?
We already by halftime. If Kirk Cousins is put on a performance like he puts on in Minneapolis,
listen, man,
it's going to be over with.
You seen the Titanic, man? When the Titanic was sinking and the folks still was playing the instruments and stuff, the orchestra, the band played on. That's exactly what's happening now, man. The ship is sinking, and Kirk gonna keep playing his song, man. I don't think it's a way that he's gonna get benched at all, barring injury. I don't see it.
Well, that's a great escape, because somebody used that escape this week, and we're talking about cool when they like. That's another thing. Like, how do you say coming off a bye week in the beginning of the game that Young Way Cool
got a hip
injury. Before the game even started.
I do you one better. You know they signed the kicker this week, right?
Yeah, they signed one today, I think.
No, they had one. They signed one before the game. They had
a kicker.
Yes, they had a kicker.
No, they didn't have it.
They had a kicker.
I think you might have misunderstood it. No. There's no way you got Koo out there with a bad like that's like saying my quarterback has a dislocated shoulder and his throwing arm, and I'm gonna still put him out there.
Hey, man.
Like a kicker with a bad hip, no, sir. There's nothing you can do for me.
Maybe he's had a bad hip all season, man.
Because that you cannot put a kicker out there. There's no way you can do that. Now in the game, your kicker get hurt, and you like, okay, you ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But you're coming off a bye week, and you trot this man out here at the beginning of the game, and you say, hey, he has a bad hip. What?
And you know what he did.
He did. Like, what? Are you serious? Like, who let that news get out?
Listen,
then the Joker missed the first field goal.
Why wouldn't he?
And then he makes the next one. And I said, oh, man, come on, man. This guy could not have a bad hip. You cannot have a bad hip and you out here playing after you've missed now 9 field goals on the year, 8 at the time. Yeah, make it make sense, somebody. Somebody make it make sense.
Why it don't make sense? Because it's the Falcons, man.
Somebody make it make sense. Like, man. You got to stop BSing us, man. Like, you got a loyal fan base. If you're winning, the city is going to come out and support you. You cannot keep doing this. And you tell us that Young Way Cool,
listen, man,
got a bad hip. Like, you come out on national TV.
How long we been doing this show, man? You've been doing this show for 3 years, right?
You come out on national TV and say Young Way Cool got a bad hip.
Every year for the past 3 years around this time, we start having these conversations. Listen, man, and I get his disclaimer, Falcon fans. It's going to be the same every year, man. it's gonna be something. It'll be the same. It can be different characters. It's the same movie every year though. We get a different coach. We got a different quarterback.
Man, this is and I'm looking at the game when Kirk throw that pick six that I said I seen it going out the door.
Okay, I just about
and,
to my quarterback.
That is something that he would do.
Not at all.
I've seen him throw that. That's probably how I already knew it was coming up because I seen him make that pass plenty of times, man. I've seen him make that play many times. And definitely the one he at the end of the game when he was trying to make something happen, you know, get in field goal range, and he threw it to pick.
Straight to Derrick James.
Yeah.
He was wide open.
Yeah.
Somebody told me today, they said, you know how Jameis needed to get the LASIK surgery on his eyes? He was blind the whole time. Maybe Kirk is blind. Maybe he don't know who he's throwing the ball to.
Man, I think Kirk really just don't give a damn. I really, because that's how he played out there yesterday. Like he has really bought into the sentiments of Atlanta.
He's so charismatic, man.
And I don't just give a like. I really think that's what what the song go. How the song go with Scrappy them. Hey, but some just like he played like that yesterday. Like, cause he was just throwing that ball like, hey man, I really don't. I'm paid, and what you gonna do? And who's
a bad day? That's what Raheem said.
Who's to say Kirk doesn't go? Because he is that kind of guy. I don't know if he still got it in him to go to Minnesota and say how you like that.
There you go, man. How can you say you like that, right?
It's
still hope.
So I can see him coming out with one of them games, but then, don't want because can you get the same performance by it's a juggle with this team. Like you don't know if the offense plays lights out.
It's nobody. Yeah, they can't get everybody on the same page.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
And man, I don't know what is sweep left, sweep right, like Tecmo Bowl 2005 or whatever it was.
Jet sweep.
Like man,
Zach Robinson, take that out the playbook, man.
Man, like that play was ran every single series.
Man, it got stopped.
of the game yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't get it, man. Like they ran that every single series. It was left, it was right.
Yeah.
It was, and then
you got Derrick James, all pro player, big time defensive player. You got Ray McLeod trying to block him. And he couldn't block him if he was in a phone booth, man, with him. Every time he just ran right past him and got to play. Keep doing the same thing, man. Don't make sense. They got a vanilla playbook. The Falcons supposedly have all these great weapons.
Right.
But it's vanilla play calling. Kirk Cousins supposed to be a great play action quarterback. No. You don't ever run play action. You got supposedly two dynamic running backs. Now, Bijan did have a pretty good game yesterday.
You give this guy the ball 30-some times. He's supposed to have a 100-yard running game.
Hey, man, I'm just telling you what they say.
He's supposed to have a 100-yard rushing game.
They like Bijan, man.
And somebody was calling in on a show today, and they shut the guy down for saying, hey, we need to see more. Oh, Bijan is our guy. Bijan. You're making him the guy. Like the guys don't need to have the ball 30 times to get 102 yards.
Listen, man.
Like
I drafted this guy in the top 10.
You're making him.
I gotta give him
the ball. He is not the guy. You're making him.
I gotta make him the guy so I can keep my job.
And that's why you can't win games.
I keep my job.
That's why you can't win games. Because you see other organizations, they play the guys who are winning.
Yeah.
They're playing the guys who are making plays.
Yeah.
If Kamara is not making plays, guess what? They got another running back they use. If Saquon not Saquon, Godwin, or not Godwin, the guy who's up there in the Eagles, Gaines.
Oh yeah.
Dual backs, they using them. Your back with Gaines was before because Gaines was not the back.
No, I can't even remember. Did he go to Carolina or where did he go to? I know the running back.
Yeah, but he was
on the fantasy team.
He was the guy.
Yeah.
But after he, even like Zeke, he was the guy. But Paula came in and started being the guy. You got to play the guy who's getting it done. That's where you win ball games. And until Atlanta gets off of this, I drafted this guy to be this guy, because you're not going to
Atlanta fans like shiny things.
It's not
chains, man.
It's not shiny, though.
Shiny running back.
It's not shiny. Like you needed 2 yards. You can tell me you couldn't put Penix in there and say, hey, man, Kirk, we need you to check out for a minute. We need to get these 2 yards. And of course, Penix is not. Let's not get me wrong.
Might have to bench Kirk if we play too good.
Well, you might have to do that if you want to win games. If you're serious about winning games, you do what you need to do.
We want to win a certain kind of way, though.
You can't do that. That's what cost you the Super Bowl. You wanted to win a certain kind of way.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You wanted to win a certain kind of way. But you got to. You can't save the season. If Kirk goes out here in Minnesota, and I know this is going home game, and it's probably going to be a lot of emotions in it for him.
I'll tell you this.
But if Kirk comes in play in Minnesota bad, hey, Kirk, we sorry, bro. We know this. We know.
The Minnesota fans are happy to see him coming.
I'm sure.
I'm sure. Welcome back. Come on in.
And, the stats were put out there. Kirk have never had a game, 2 games back to back like this. He had never even had a game like this, even going back to the Washington days. Like, he's never looked this bad. So I think it might be time, to go in another direction.
You sound like I thought you were about to say you're gonna turn it around. So you saying it's time to pull the plug on the Kirk?
It may be time. It might be time. And dang the money. You got to do what you got to do.
Easy for you to say, man. It ain't your money.
Well, that guy got a lot of money.
You do, man.
So it's just a check rolling to him.
Yeah.
He just built a new hospital down there. So he got a lot of money.
He do all the little charitable. Shout out to Arthur Blank for the charitable stuff, man. But I keep telling y'all, Falcons ain't gonna win that to Arthur Blank. There's the team, moves on or whatever you want to call it, man.
Yeah. Well,
I think he's the problem, man. That's why you have all of this dysfunction that they got, man.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you have to scratch the loyalty and you got to do what you need to do to win.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of covered the Sunday night game, man. Buffalo, of course, put a spanking on the 49ers, man, in that game. Monday night game. Well, you Browns connected, so I ain't gonna say what I was about to say. Browns versus who they playing tonight? I can't even remember. It's a bad game though.
We got the Browns, and
I ain't even give no predictions in this game because I was like, the Browns and
Broncos.
Browns and Broncos. There you go. Bo Nix. Oh, Bo Nix. So we'll see what happens with that game, man. Any predictions for that game from you? There you go. See,
I will see Winston. It's gonna be a more exciting game than what you think.
You know what? I take that back. I like Jameis. Jameis Winston is my favorite.
It's gonna be a more exciting game than what you think.
There you go, man. Jameis give him and he take him away too. So
it's gonna be. You got both.
Are they in Cleveland or are they in
Denver?
Okay.
Maybe we'll get a chance to play in the snow again. And James loves the snow.
There you go.
Thank God for us letting us be able to play in the snow. So, we might get it. Get an exciting game.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, Falcons fans, like we said, it's cold outside. It's cold just because of the loss and all that, man. You guys tell us what you think. Can the Falcons say their season, man? Baltimore fans, my fellow Ravens fans. Well, I ain't gonna say fellow because I'm off that bandwagon, man. I'm with the Eagles now. You can write this. You can put this in ink now, man. I'm an Eagles fan. There you have it, man. Yes, and the Eagles are looking good, man. So you guys tell us what you think, man. What do you think about Detroit? I think they got a chink in the armor. BeeWoo say they're the team to beat. We'll see. They got a big game coming up Thursday, man. Make sure you guys comment. Tell us what you think, man. Make sure you like the video. Make sure that you share this channel with everybody that you know, man. Tell a friend. What we tell them, BeeWoo?
And tell a hater.
Hey, man. And until next time, man, we'll see you guys. Make sure you stay warm out there. Yeah, man, we'll be back next week. See you later.
Happy birthday, Isaac. Love you, boy.
Happy birthday, nephew.